Hey everybody, I just got a brand new box in from Brutus Monroe and let's take a look. Okay, so a couple of things. One of the major stamps that he has is his snow globe stamps, and he's been creating a whole bunch to go with different cities. So the most recent one is Las Vegas. And here's a cool little die now that fits any snow globe die, any stamp. So because they're all the exact same size, this fits for all of them, which is pretty darn cool. Another one I got, and this is not a new one, but I now have the coordinating die, is the owls with the owl die, which I think is pretty fun. And here's the other cool thing. Look what he put on the image. He put the stamped image inside. So isn't that awesome? That way you know which die goes with which because it's inside there. It's fantastic. All right, so these are not new, but they kind of are because the dies are going along with them, and we do have a brand new Las Vegas stamp, and this literally came out this month, so that's pretty cool. All right, some other new stuff. Well, existing things. We have these amazing new pastel media tags. This is from the Foundations collection, and I want to show you what was in these. These are so cute. Look at them, and they're nice and thick cardstock. They also have like almost like a rivet in here, but it's not. It's kind of like a plasticky end, so it really can kind of hold everything well. There are 4 colors in here, so you're getting kind of this bluish color. And I don't know if the color names are on this or not. It just says pastel. So you're getting this bluish color, you're getting this kind of peachy color, which is right here. There's this kind of gray taupey color, and then a light blue, which is absolutely beautiful. So that's pretty cute. So these are already in the store. These tags have been around, but I had to get my hands on them because look how adorable they are. And they're already colored. They already are great size. They have this little, notch in the middle, which allows you to have lots of good stability. So I love that. And the colors are fantastic. Okay, let's take a look at some of the new stuff. So I had to get my hands on these couple of stamps. This one is called Shine Bright, and I'm gonna hold something. I need to get a piece of paper so you guys can see these better. When I get the stamps, I usually get them without packaging, especially if they're such a new release, because he wants us to get them super early. So that's why I don't have packaging on the outside of my stamps. So this one is Shine Bright, and look at all the cool light bulbs. Isn't that awesome? I love that. Next one we have is Snap, and as it's a whole bunch of little cameras, and then we got some fun little sayings off to the sides. So that's pretty awesome too. I love that. Oh, let me get that centered for you. So cute little cameras. Adorable. Another new stamp that's coming out for May. This one I believe is just called Waves. Wave background. So this is a background stamp, and it is beautiful background stamp that's all these beautiful waves. It's really kind of fun. Okay, now here is a brand new, it just got announced, and I am so excited. I knew about it for a while, and I was so excited for her. Rita Backrat, and she lives here in Texas with me, and we've bumped into each other a whole bunch of times. She is teaming up with Brutus Monroe and coming out with her own line of stamps, which is fantabulous. And she is whimsical and fairies, and just reminds me of love and romance, and so that's what her line of stamps is all about. So I'm going to hold them up one at a time, and I think this one is hers. I'm not 100%, but it just reminds me of her stuff, so that's why I'm lumping it into this category. So she has this floral. I'm going to have to hold them up again so you guys can see. She has this beautiful floral door. This door here, this arched door, which I think it's called the Rustic Balcony. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. She also have these really cute little fairies. Look at these adorable fairies, and she drew all this stuff, which I think is fantastic. This one's called Fairy Magic. Isn't that cute? It's hard to see without having a stamped image, but I'm gonna end up using these as time goes along. Here's another one, and this one is called Wildflowers. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm not 100% sure if this one's hers or not, but it looks like it fits within the category. This one's called Floral Lace. Isn't that gorgeous? And lastly, we have Fairy Garden. So cute. I love them. So I wanted to kind of play a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a trick. Now, we all love when we get these stamps with the die sets, but sometimes they just don't line up. So I'm going to show you my little trick to make sure it lines up and it doesn't mess up your paper. So let me get out a couple of stuff real fast. Okay, so everybody's got their own which, you know, die cut machine they love the best. Cuttlebug was my first one, and truly because of the portability of the little guy, and I already have it in my head which plates go with which, and it works for everything. Big plates, small plates, wafer thins. It's never done me wrong. I can take it with me if I need to. It's my go-to. So I tend to use that. Okay, so here's my little trick. Washi tape. Washi tape is my trick. This is my go-to. So everybody's got, well, if you're in the crafting and if you're anything like me, I have scads of washi tape, and I'm always trying to find uses for it. I'm also trying to always find the end to it because I can never find it. So washi tape is my friend. I'm going to put a couple of them up on the top here. I'm just going to pull off a couple little strands. And I've used this on videos before, but it wasn't kind of like the, woohoo, this is what it's, I didn't make a big deal of it. I am now. Okay, so I'm going to take this cute little owl stamp, and since I was using that kind of taupey brown, this color paper, and it works really well, I'm going to use my tag too. It works really well with my tag. I think those colors look smashing together, and I'm just going to use black. So I'm going to take my detail ink from Brutus Monroe, go ahead and stamp up my stamp. Or ink up my stamp up my stamp. I always say that, ink up my stamp. And notice how I didn't smash the ink into the stamp. A lot of people do that. You want to pat it. And I always like taking my ink to the stamp to make sure I get all the way around versus taking my stamp to the ink. It's something I was kind of told a long time ago was a good idea. Some people also like to put stuff underneath their stamp while they're stamping, but because I have a foam core board, that's what this silver is below here, I'm not too worried. All right, go in, do not rock your stamp. That's another big no-no. Otherwise you get blurred edges. Go in and make sure, like I'm moving my fingers around, not trying to rock it. It is kind of rocking by accident, but trying to make sure that every little part of the stamp is getting an image. I may have talked too much, so maybe let's do a second one. It's not as dark as I want it to be. I think I was talking and I let my ink dry a little bit too much. Let's try it. Part 2. That's the beauty of this, is it's just paper and ink. You can make as many as you want. That's better. I think I waited too long because I was talking. That's my job to talk. All right, I'm just cutting off the excess because I don't want to cut that one out. All right, so here is where the washi tape comes in. You have your cute little die. Place your image that you have stamped right there. Pull out your cute little die. And I think I'm going to end up storing these two things together in the same package. I'm going to keep my die. When I store it, I'm going to show you how I store this thing together as well. Okay, so I'm going to line this up to exactly where I want it. And here's the bottom. Here's the problem. You get it like this, you put the plate on it, and all of a sudden it shifts on you. You're like, oh crap, it shifted on me. And it does that, and it shifts and does all these stupid little things. So this is where the washi tape comes in. Washi tape pulls clear. So guess what? Just stick it over top. Make sure it's exactly, this is why I like using 2. Stick it on there so it's exactly where you want it. Overlap it, underlap it, stick it to the plate. It does not matter. It's going to come clean. Make sure before you really do stick it down, it's exactly where you want it because it's not going to budge after you tape it down. And I just threw it on there. I didn't really care exactly how I stuck it on there. I didn't invent this. I'm just showing you a fun tip. It kind of came to me as I haven't seen anybody else do this. It doesn't mean that they haven't. It's just, it came to me as an epiphany one day while I was trying to do little bitty dies. I was like, how can I stop this? And the washi tape was sitting on my desk and I was like, aha, there we go. Run it through. And I like to run mine about 5,000 times just because, you know, that's me. Run it through. And look, cleanly pulls off. A little bit of the stamped image came off, but truly you're never going to know. Especially if you're going to color it in, you're never going to know. And it's nice is that it kind of keeps it all together. So when I pulled it up, it's not a big deal. And look at that, clean, done, off of here. This is now trash. And you got some use out of your washi tape. Isn't that cute? So now when I store my die and my stamp, pretend I cleaned it. I always pretend I clean them all the time. Where's my packaging? I think it's right here. Okay. So what I'm going to end up doing taking my stamp, throwing it in here, and I am just going to take this guy and throw it right in there and just put the whole thing in the package. Boom, done. I have it all together. And if I just want to use the stamp as the stamp, it's in here. If I want to use the stamp for the die, it's in here too. And if you're getting a die set where there's a whole bunch of little ones, I just throw them in there as well. And then I just kind of keep it like this. I do have a packaging system where I keep my dies, but when I have a stamp and a die set together, I like to do this so that we don't get lost. Otherwise, they end up all over the place. So that's just how I do it. Okay, so let's move on and add this to our tag. And I'm stupid because I want to use this little fun sentiment. This is just a quick and easy tag. I am not going overboard here. So see how I'm just pulling out the stamp? I just want the "I will always love you" part. So I'm going to throw this down. It's not going to fit perfectly on my tag, and that's fine, but I want to ink the edge of my tag, add some more of that black to it. I have no agenda on this. I am just having fun right now. I'm going to stamp this up. And I'm going to do it right here. Ta-da. Whoa. I tend to throw everything everywhere. Now, I also want to ink the edge of this. Add a little something. And I'm just going to leave my little owl plain. I use my inks for all kinds of stuff, for inking the edges and just leaving it like that. Now I'm going to throw some glue on here. I always grab one that's never open. You can use a tape runner for this too, however you want to use it. I just happen to have the wet glue sitting right here, so I'm going to grab it. I always have about 5 different glues just off my set here. And so now I can add this to a bag, a tag. I'm going to get a little ribbon real fast and add it to the top. So I just grabbed some, I don't even know what this kind of ribbon is called. I don't even know how long I've had it. I have so many ribbons. I don't even know where they come from. So I'm going to pull it through on the back side. I fold it in half, pull it through, and I doubled it over, and then I put it through that loop. And then I kind of pull through very gently. The nice thing is this is a nice reinforced center, so I've got some room to groove. Not a ton of room, but a little bit of room. I want to try and get this nice and tight. And there we go. Just a cute little tag. I mean, look how quick and easy that was. That did not take me any time. The blue did a lot of the work for me because I die cut out the little owl. It adds dimension. I stamped right on the tag, added some inking, a cute little tag on the top, and it's super simple little tag that I can add into a package or something. And then on the back side, I can actually write something. If this bugs you, then make sure, like this has got a different color paper on the back, then make sure you grab a 2-sided paper that you like the backing of it, or ink the back of it. Go in and get this all black, and then nobody knows the difference. But truly, nobody's really going to see the back side of that anyway. So thanks for stopping by and checking out my haul of all my beautiful stamps. I'm going to get a nice little picture of all this stuff, up close picture of this thing. And thanks for stopping by. And below in the video is, and also on the blog, is going to be a link to all these supplies that way you can get them. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.